you have to hurry. Offer ends December 31st. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 12/31/2023.
One of the best things about the holidays is going home and spending time with family and friends. One of the worst things, getting there. Holiday travel can be tough, especially driving. If you or a loved one needs help after an accident this holiday season, we're here for you. Our top-notch team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. Be safe this holiday season. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 32 degrees. Today we'll see patchy freezing drizzle in the morning, then a chance for snow showers and wintry mix later today, a high of 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatzo. A 78-year-old man died after driving his car into a river in Racine on Saturday. The accident happened at 12:30 a.m. near the entrance of the Root River on Dodge Street. Racine County Sheriff's Office says the driver was speeding down Michigan Boulevard when he entered the parking lot of the Chat Room restaurant, struck a retaining wall, went airborne, and entered the river. Dive teams from the Sheriff's Office and Racine Fire Department located and recovered the vehicle, finding the driver deceased inside. The Sheriff's Office has yet to confirm the reason for the man's erratic driving. A brewer in northern Wisconsin filed a complaint against the Wisconsin Elections Commission earlier this week in an attempt to remove former President Donald Trump from the presidential primary ballot. Minocqua Brewing Company owner Kirk Bangstad's request was denied just hours after he filed it. Now Bangstad is calling on the state Supreme Court to take up his appeal.
If they don't want to lessen their court any further in the eyes of America, we'll stay this decision as opposed to ruling on it in like a week, in like January 3rd or 4th, when the Colorado ballots are printed.
The WEC ruled they cannot comment on the request because it would be a conflict of interest. 2 games remain for the Green Bay Packers, including tonight against the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers need to win out to have a chance at being a playoff team.
The Packers will take the field tonight in Minneapolis without their most accomplished cornerback. Jair Alexander is suspended for tonight's game due to conduct detrimental to the team.
It's never for one thing. I think Ja's going to be here a long time. He's a hell of a player. And just looking to move past this and learn from it, we'll all move forward and be better for it.
Standing in the way of the Packers' defense is a Vikings passing attack ranked 3rd best in the National Football League.
They got a lot of talented receivers. They've thrown for a lot of yards, in particular these last couple of weeks.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ Sports.
Coverage of tonight's game begins with Green Bay Game Day at 4 o'clock. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 8:03.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Don't you just love when a package is delivered? Okay, I suppose it depends on what's inside. Well, there's one massive package that's due to arrive at any minute, whether you're ready for it or not. That's right, winter is all packaged up and out for delivery. Hi, this is Steve from Mr. Holland's Home Services. Speaking of packages, this month, Mr. Holland's crew is dispatching a package deal on a new heating and air system. We will deliver and install a complete new, highly efficient, heavily warranted comfort package, and you select the savings. Get 0% financing for up to 24 months with approved credit, or pay up front and enjoy a deep package discount. Just think of it as your winter care package from Mr. Holland's Home Services. But don't wait until that polar parcel pops up on your doorstep. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you need a comfort system that can deliver the goods, we can help.
When it comes to simple, affordable home improvements, at Les's Glass, you'll find an array of options. Like for bath remodeling, adding a new glass shower door, embeveling the edges of your mirrors, or simply having us install new mirrors to any living space in your home can add a touch of elegance and depth that can really turn a room's frown upside down. Or maybe you're thinking new cabinet doors. Before you write that check, find out how we can make your ordinary cabinet doors beautiful with a variety of glass insert options that can be easily installed into your existing wood cabinets and make a world of difference. And before you pay for new windows, call us to see if our affordable insulated glass replacement services can't save you a few bucks. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update. A New Year's Eve game for the Packers tonight. They take on the Minnesota Vikings, kickoff at 7:20, and your Green Bay game day coverage starts at 4 right here on WTMJ. And a New Year's Day game for the Bucks tomorrow night. They take on the Indiana Pacers at Fiserv Forum. That game at 7 o'clock, and Bucks shoot-around starts at 6. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Roads are looking quiet this morning. No incidents to report at this time.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
And taking a look at your WTMJ forecast. Today we'll see patchy freezing drizzle throughout the morning. Then we'll see a chance for snow showers and wintry mix as the day goes on. We'll see a total of maybe a half an inch to 1.5 inches of precipitation, a high of 37. Tonight clouds start to decrease, a low of 27. On Monday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 35. Tuesday, partly cloudy and breezy with a high of 38. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a chance for flurries in the afternoon, a high of 36. And on Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 30. Right now in Madison, it is 29 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 30. In Waukesha, it is 28. And in Milwaukee, it's 32 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatzo, Sighting Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
Couple of hours we're going to have. It's a busy morning. And of course, it is the last day of the year. We're going to look forward to what's going to be on the top local story headlines in 2024. And what else is that going to be but the Republican National Convention? So today we're going to look back at some of our interviews that we've had with people in the world of politics, including Milwaukee native Scott Klug. Now, he knows a lot about politics. He started his career as a television news reporter, but he changed careers, serving Madison in Congress for 4 terms. I asked him, what was it like transitioning from covering politicians to becoming one?
You had been covering politicians as a reporter. Now you are one. What was your impression when you first got in there and looked around at the other people who had been there much longer than you?
There were folks who got elected with me who were, a small town banker from Nebraska and a guy who'd been a professor. Another guy who was a building contractor, and they never really spent any time in D.C. So when I got elected, I knew what to expect and I knew where to go. And I carried a Metro Pass in my back pocket to wander around town because I'd lived and worked in Washington for 8 years before then. And I think it gave me a huge advantage coming out of the media because I understood how the press worked. In some cases, I think especially for the local press in Madison, it was harder for them than it was for me because they had to be objective and I was a friend.
And when he arrived in Washington, former Congressman Scott Klug decided not to go along to get along. He describes taking on the establishment.
Did anybody ever take you aside and say, let me explain how this works? You're definitely going in the wrong direction, and you need to be one of the good old boys.
Not in so many words. I actually got advice probably more from people back home who said you don't want to ruffle feathers. It's going to cause trouble for you. Now, a lot of my constituents loved it and ate it up. But the worst thing in the world you can do is tell a former journalist, don't go there. If anybody ever points to a locked door, that's exactly the place I want to go. And it's sort of what I've always done through my career is to push through those kind of obstacles. And so rather than being sort of bullied by other members, we became part of the story. And so folks didn't want to put themselves at risk where we can say, that's the guy or that's the woman who's blocking the records we asked for. So it was pretty heady times. I mean, we were on This Week with David Brinkley, on Nightline, on Meet the Press, on just about everything that was going on. It made a reputation for all of us moving forward. And for Boehner, it essentially launched his career to eventually become Speaker of the House.
And I'll tell you, this was one of my favorite conversations of the whole year, talking with former Congressman Scott Klug. And if you didn't hear it when we first aired it a month or two ago, you can go to WTMJ.com, check out the WTMJ Conversations page. You can find this interview and so many others. Another interview that I really was excited about here this past year was when I spoke with former Attorney General Bill Barr. If you didn't hear that, we're going to have the entire interview for you during the 9 o'clock hour. And also, here's another one. I was a little bit jealous when I found out that WTMJ's Eric Bilstead was able to sit down with legendary newsman Bob Woodward. And he shared so much insight about his years covering the White House. We're going to bring that to you a little bit later on. Also, speaking of politicians, Wisconsin lost a legend this week, and that, of course, was Senator Herb Kohl. Mark Cass, who knew him personally, takes a look at the legacy of this really legendary politician. Matt Miller's going to be here. He's going to share his thoughts on the best and worst movies of 2024. Now, if you're looking for a unique way to start the new year, we're also going to tell you about a free family event that takes place tomorrow, and I think you're going to get a kick out of that one. Also, if you haven't figured out how to dispose of your natural Christmas tree yet, we're going to tell you where to take it, and also how to enjoy a 12th-night celebration with your entire family. Today's kind of a special day. Yes, it's the last day of the year, but there's something significant about it. We're going to tell you about that. We're also going to take a look back at the week in review. Jessica Gatso, of course, is in the newsroom. Charlie's here today, in for Isaac, pushing those buttons. And in just 2 minutes, it's Matt Sossler in sports. I'm Libby Collins, and we have 32 degrees at 8:12 on WTMJ.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
Also, Iguodala had 9 offensive rebounds and 10th ranked Marquette 72-67 win over number 20 Creighton.
It was a phenomenal effort by him and our whole team on the offensive glass, and you have to play with a level of desperation when the ball's not going in. And you got to do that on defense, and you certainly have to do that on the offensive glass, and we needed every one of those offensive rebounds.
Head coach Shaka Smart, the Golden Eagles out-rebounded the Blue Jays by 10. With the win, Marquette improves to 11-3, 2-1 in the Big East. Up next, they travel to Newark to take on Seton Hall this Saturday morning. Tip-off on 94.5 ESPN is scheduled for 11. For the first time since 2016, the Badgers take on the 13th-ranked LSU Tigers in tomorrow's ReliaQuest Bowl.
And we're excited about, obviously, a great opponent in LSU. And Coach Kelly, obviously, got a little bit of a history and know a lot about him. This is going to be an incredible challenge for us, but I think that's what's exciting for us in our program.
Head coach Luke Fickell in that last game, the Badgers won 16-14 at Lambeau Field. For the Tigers, Heisman Trophy quarterback Jaden Daniels will not play as he prepares for the NFL Draft. Kickoff tomorrow morning from Tampa is scheduled for 11. The Packers will be shorthanded in the secondary tonight against the Vikings.
It is what it is. We've kind of had that mantra, that mindset all year, that next man up, and we got to keep it moving and keep preparing. And they're going to break the huddle with 11 guys. We're going to break the huddle with 11 guys, and we got to go play.
Packers defensive coordinator Joe Barry. Green Bay will be without Jair Alexander due to suspension and Eric Stokes because of a hamstring injury. Darnell Savage is listed as questionable, and elsewhere on the injury report, linebacker Devondre Campbell, wide receiver Christian Watson, offensive lineman Luke Tenuta, and running back Emmanuel Wilson all are doubtful. Kickoff for Minnesota is scheduled for 7:20. I'm Matt Sossler, WTMJ Sports.
Thanks a lot, Matt. It's 8:16. We have 31 degrees at WTMJ. And I'm going to have your full 5-day forecast coming up. You're going to want to slow it down if you're going to go out early this morning because those roads are on the slippery side. Also, Mark Cass is going to join us, and he's going to take a look back at that legendary legacy of the late Senator Herb Kohl. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Once the final whistle blows, Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia is on the air. Recap every Bucks game, win or lose with Bucks Talk.
To borrow from Mike McCarthy, I am just looking for this team to stack successes. Find one thing that works, keep doing it, and build on it that way.
It's Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
Oh, God. You said Mike McCarthy. Oh, Justin. My God. That's horrible.
Only here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And that's why when we sell your home, we make sure it shows well before buyers walk in your door. Or quite frankly, they'll walk in through someone else's. At Benefit Realty, quality photography is important to show off the home we're selling in its best light to get them into your home. Quality photos, full MLS marketing to reach every online home shopper, and 3.5 to 3.9% discount commissions. Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com. We are a discount real estate broker, but does that mean we're not full service? At Benefit Realty, you'll get an agent with considerable experience who offers full MLS marketing, covering all the bases to make sure every buyer shopping online sees your home. The only thing separating us from the 6% brokers is just that. They work for 6%, we work for 3.5 to 3.9%. Full service for a lot less. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com.
Join the Brewers at the all-new Winter Warm-Up Fan Event Saturday, January 13th. See your favorite Brewers player in a fun-filled live show and get early access to purchase opening day tickets. Don't miss out on the fun. Get tickets at brewers.com/Winter Warm-Up.
Well, you're not going to be warming up today because we've got below freezing surface temperatures. That means we're going to have some slick and slippery spots all on those roadways, especially near bridges and overpasses. Now, if you're closer to the lake, it's been a little bit warmer there. But as the morning wears on, we're going to see freezing drizzle evolving into snow showers in a wintry mix. We'll probably have some minor accumulations. You're going to see anywhere from about a half inch to maybe 2 inches of accumulation throughout the day. Our high temperature is going to be 37 degrees. Then tonight, clouds are going to go away down to 27. Then the first day of the year, we've got sunshine and 35. Tuesday, partly cloudy and breezy, high of 38. On Wednesday, that's your next chance of flurries with 36 degrees for a high temperature. And the sun moves back in on Thursday with a high temperature of 30 degrees. Currently, looks like there's some light snow coming in Racine, 30 degrees there. Oconomowoc has 28. Let's see. In Richfield, it's 29 degrees, and we have 30 degrees at WTMJ at 8:20, and it's time to check in on our Tri-County Contracting Hotline with Mark Cass. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Mark, it's a sad ending to 2023 when we heard the other evening that former Senator Herb Kohl passed away. Now, we know he was 88 years old. He certainly lived a full life, but what will he be remembered for most in the business community?
You know, I think, Libby, that it'll be his giving, his generosity. I mean, just amazing when you think about it and look at it, his life in Milwaukee, his career in Milwaukee, but his giving in Milwaukee. We can talk more about his career in terms of the Kohl's stores and obviously the NBA team and the Bucks, but I don't think everybody kind of remembers his last few years, what he did, and that was he basically handed out money. He gave to education. He gave to teachers. He helped clubs. He helped kids. He was all about kids and just really trying to enhance our community and just helping. And, I think as he kind of wound down out of the spotlight a bit, he became a lot more active in that. And to me, his legacy is we are the city we are, not just because of the NBA team, not because of everything else, but because of his generosity. As you look at Milwaukee and who the people are who are helping the city, he is right there among the tops in the history of the city in terms of helping Milwaukee. So I think he'll be remembered as, one, just a very nice man, a very accomplished man, and incredibly helpful to the community.
We often forget about his early career when he ran the family business, grocery stores, department stores. What was the impact of those businesses on the community?
Yeah, think about that. I mean, I think people in their 20, 25 years old probably don't even know that about Herb, that he basically ran the company that his father started and grew it into a huge business with the grocery stores and then spun off into the department stores, and the success of that, owning Northridge and Southridge malls, and the sale of those malls and what kind of they were all like, and had this huge career, pre-NBA career, and then went into the NBA business. In a sense, in 85, people don't remember he saved the Bucks. There was a lot of concern about what would happen with them in 85 if they would leave the city. He stepped up, acquired the team. I'm not sure if anyone's going to believe this. He actually acquired it for $18 million, Libby. Think about that, $18 million for an NBA team.
That was a bargain. Yeah.
That was a bargain because he sold it for just a little bit more than that at $550 and then owned it for 29 years, invested a lot of money in the team, invested a lot in the arena, really made that. But then again, coming up in 2014, he made the decision to sell the team. Could have sold it to anybody, anywhere in the country. There was a lot of talk about the team actually moving. There's been rumors and kind of speculation about offers that were made for a lot more. We now hear afterwards probably $100 million more, but he sold it to the hedge fund operators out of New York who were going to keep it in Milwaukee, and that was his insistence. But then after that, Levy, he then stepped up with $100 million of his own money and said, here, I'm going to offer this to help with the new arena. And I remember hearing that thinking, well, what the heck? That's crazy. What an amazing gesture. $100 million from him, $100 million from the owners. It was a huge step towards the new arena because without that money, I'm not sure if the project happened. So he sold the team, kept it here, and then helped with the new arena. Think about the impact of that.
And that's just it. He was a true philanthropist and yet so humble.
Yeah, for those of us who knew him, who had the honor of knowing him, I knew him for 20 years. I've met with him many times. I've had lunch with him. I've talked to him at length. And he's humble, never about himself, always about others in the room. I always remember he'd ask me about my family. He'd want to know kind of how things were going at the paper. He'd want to talk about his staff, about Joanne, who is one of the longtime employees, who's very loyal to him. He's very loyal to her. He'd want to talk about others. He'd want the spotlight on others. I remember we tried to honor him with an award back in 2015, and it took me weeks just to kind of coordinate him to attend, not only the award winner, he wanted others to be honored. So he was always about others, always about community, and to me, really kind of left an impression that is amazing on his community.
What do you think his final legacy in Milwaukee will be?
I think there's a couple things. We are an NBA city. As a result of Herb Kohl. Again, 85, 2014, what he did, he kept the team here. We would not have had an NBA championship what we had in 21 if not for Herb Kohl, because obviously the Bucks would have been gone. I'm not sure if everyone remembers, but he was the head of the team when they drafted Giannis. And clearly the Bucks aren't winning the title without Giannis. He was obviously the key figure in that. So I think it's being an NBA city, being an impactful city. But I also think you have to look around the city for the things he did, whether it was helping schools. I think his legacy will be his philanthropy, his generosity, and what he meant to everyone in the city. The neat thing, Libby, and I'm sure you've probably heard this, as I've gone pretty much everywhere over the past few days, everybody has a Herb Kohl story. And, all the stories are fun. They talk about how nice he was, how open he was, how even if he didn't know the people, he would sit down with them, he would talk to them, he'd want to know about them. And sometimes as you look at your life, you want to be remembered as a nice guy. Herb Kohl was a nice guy who he did so much quietly and had a tremendous impact on our city.
Well, another thing where people are doing things quietly, it's with the new Milwaukee Public Museum that's going to be built downtown. It's a $240 million project. Yep. Obviously, a lot of people are contributing to that. But when will construction start, and how much money have they raised?
This is an interesting one. It was supposed to start construction in 23. Obviously, not going to happen. So right now, the aim is to start in early 24, have it open in 27. About 3 months or so from where they wanted to be. They've raised about 160 of it so far. So they're on their way. There's a lot of money yet to raise. Important project for the community. I mean, I've talked many times about the importance of the museum. We all remember it as kids. We all went there as kids on school trips. The educational thing about it, I think what it'll mean to the city and this new location right near the arena on 6th and McKinley, very important. So they still have work to do, Libby. There's no doubt. And until they're under construction, I think there is some concern about it. But they've insisted that they will get this done. They will accomplish this. They raise the money. I think their approach in really having this as a statewide museum and not just from Milwaukee has helped in terms of the fundraising. There's just a lot of efforts underway. The hope is to start in early 24, and hopefully we'll see this underway soon. In a couple of years, we'll be there for the opening and seeing what it means to the city.
And as we wrap up this year of 2023, we saw a lot of home sales falling in the Milwaukee area. Do you think it's going to continue in the early part of 2024, or are you looking for a rebound?
I am looking for a rebound. I think through the end of 23 slowed a bit. Interest rates kind of wore down. We saw home sales stall out a bit. But I think 24, with interest rates on their way down now, hopefully if it's their peak, they're down now around 5 or so. I think there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of things happening. So I think the home market is going to really increase in the first part of 24. I think the other thing to watch is the high-end apartments. You and I have talked about this. We're going to have the Couture opening in April. We're going to have 333 in the 3rd Ward. So you're adding 600 or so high-end units. I'm talking very high-end units into the market. So how will that respond? You know, are there going to be more empty nesters like myself who are going to move into the heart of the city? So to me, the housing market's going to be really, really interesting to watch in 24, both for home sales and for high-end apartments, because I think there's going to be a lot of action in each of those areas.
And here's a toast to you, Mark Cass, for a very happy new year and a great 2024.
Libby, it's always a great year with you. I think 23 has been a lot of fun. As I said, 24 is going to be even more fun. So really want to say Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all your listeners. Have a wonderful evening. Have a safe evening. And get ready for 24 because it's going to be a lot of fun in Milwaukee.
And I think that's good advice from Mark, because those roads are going to be a bit on the slippery side today. So you'll want to slow it down. We have 31 degrees at 8:27. And, coming up in about, I'd say about 15 minutes. Have you heard about voice cloning? How might it affect you? Well, our consumer expert is going to share some information about that very subject. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Today's a big day. Milo is here.
Who's Milo?
Haven't you heard about Milo?
Is Milo handsome?
I could see Milo on the cover of a magazine.
Really?
Milo is the epitome of cool.
Is Milo single?
Sure. Or a full. Or a queen. Or a king.
Wait, Milo's not a he. It's a bedroom set.
The Milo bedroom, starting at $101 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest until January of 2028 through January 7th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
It costs individuals nothing to receive help from Great Lakes Adult and Teen Challenge. They're celebrating 40 years of bringing hope and second chances to those with addiction. Great Lakes Adult and Teen Challenge operates solely on private donations. Cars, boats, motorcycles, and real estate have helped many through the vehicle donation program. Find out how you can donate and help a young person in desperate need. Call Great Lakes Adult and Teen Challenge, 414-748-HOPE. That's 414-748-HOPE.
Quality heating. You wake up, it's cold in your house. You're having a furnace problem. You gotta call someone. See the man in the red van, because with over 20 service techs, each with over 20 years experience, you can count on your job being fixed right away. In a heating emergency, you don't want some new guy fumbling around trying to diagnose the problem. For emergency furnace repair, see the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Once you've lived with it, you know there's no comparison. Hydronic heating is the best in comfort. And when it comes to hydronic heating, the man in the red van can do it all with a 96% efficiency modulating heat boiler, slant fin wall-mounted radiating heat, cast iron radiators, or how about in-floor heat that we can even lay in below your new driveway on your new home build, so you never have to shovel. Now we're talking.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling around.
Oh, Charlie, I love your taste in music. Getting into this New Year's Eve mood with Johnny Cash, I can't think of a better way to do it. We're coming up to 8:30, and we've got Jessica Gatso in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And Jessica, there was a really tragic story that came out of Racine here in the last couple of days.
That's right, Libby. A 78-year-old man died after driving his car into a river in Racine on Saturday. The accident happened at around 12:30 a.m. near the entrance of the Root River on Dodge Street. Racine County Sheriff's Office says the driver was speeding down Michigan Boulevard when he entered the parking lot of the Chat Room restaurant, struck a retaining wall, went airborne, and entered the river. Dive teams from the Sheriff's Office and Racine Fire Department located and recovered the vehicle, finding the driver deceased inside. The Sheriff's Office has yet to confirm the reason for the man's erratic driving. A fatal pedestrian crash in Milwaukee on Friday night. Police say a 17-year-old pedestrian was killed after being struck by an SUV. It happened near 76 and Appleton Avenue. A 41-year-old driver remained at the scene, and police say the investigation is ongoing. A friendly reminder, you'll see higher sales tax in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County starting tomorrow. In July, the Milwaukee County Board and Common Council had approved a sales tax increase to avoid cutting social programs for residents. Sales tax in the city of Milwaukee will increase by 2% and 0.9% in Milwaukee County. The most significant impact will be felt on larger purchases. For example, a new car could cost an extra $1,000 or more. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Roads are looking clear this morning. No incidents or delays at this time.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
And time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today we've got patchy freezing drizzle in the morning, then a chance for snow showers or wintry mix as the day goes on. We'll see a total of maybe a half an inch to 1.5 inches of precipitation, a high of 37. Tonight clouds will decrease and a low of 27. Monday we've got mostly sunny skies with a high of 35. Tuesday partly cloudy and breezy with a high of 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, a chance for flurries in the afternoon and evening, a high of 36. On Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 30. Right now in Madison, it's 29 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 30. In Waukesha, it's 28. And in Milwaukee, it's 32 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Setting Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:32.
Thank you, Jessica. And in just 2 minutes, it's the Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Panoramic CBD. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, pain, depression, or just need to relax, Panoramic CBD has the best products for everyone's needs. They farm, process, test, and package their own CBD products, hence the slogan from soil to oil. By overseeing every stage of the process, Panoramic CBD eliminates the middleman, ensuring unmatched quality throughout. To offer you the best CBD products at the best prices for you and your pets. Shop local. Shop Wisconsin. From soil to oil, PanoramicCBD.com.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. This is Archbishop Listecki. At Christmas time, Jesus comes into the world with a mission to sacrifice his life so that we might have life everlasting. As Catholics, we're spreading the word about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. Jesus gives himself to us when the bread and wine become his body and blood during Mass. There is no greater gift we could possibly receive. So join us at Mass and experience the sacrifice of Jesus in the Eucharist. Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed. Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. We're here for 2 hours this morning, all the way until 10 o'clock. I'm Libby Collins. Still ahead this hour, we've got Matt Miller joining us. He's going to take a look back at the best and the worst movies of 2023. Well, this past week, there was a close call in Carolina. There was a saucy discovery in La Crosse. And we remembered a Milwaukee icon. There was so much more. It's a Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Merry Christmas and welcome to Wisconsin's Morning News Holiday Radio Show. So, why are we doing this?
It's Christmas.
No. Why are we doing this, what we're doing here?
No one's ever grumpy about the holidays.
Am I already grumpy? I'm not trying to come off grumpy.
Oh, you're smiling. You're
right,
great.
Yes.
He's an angry elf.
You're a mean one, Mr. Vince.
Welcome, I'm Sandy Max, but this time of year I dress up, decorate, lean all the way in to be Sandy Claus. My gifts to you are treats for your ears.
Gasp! Sandy Claus.
Over the middle, catch made. In field goal range, it's Adam Thielen at the 31 at timeout. They need to spike it, they can't stop the clock. There's no time.
Pass hit the ground with 0 on the clock. The game is over.
Disgusting defensive football.
That is a disgusting act.
2 shootings on Christmas Day. The first around 10:30 when a 34-year-old was shot and injured during a robbery near North Avenue and 27th Street.
A Germantown tow driver is accused of impersonating a police officer.
A woman reported that someone claiming to be a deputy reached out to her via text message after her vehicle had been towed. In those messages, Anderson would say he could drop charges in exchange for explicit photos or sex acts.
Former President Trump blasting a decision in Maine to remove his name from the 2024 presidential ballot.
The Maine Secretary of State said she believed the record established that the former president engaged in insurrection after previously swearing an oath to defend the Constitution.
The fact that he feels that he needs to lean into being a dictator alone shows that he is a weak and feeble man.
Meanwhile, in less than 3 hours, the Wisconsin Elections Commission denied a complaint filed to attempt to remove Trump from its 2024 ballot.
I am simply a brewer from northern Wisconsin, but I care about my country and I care about democracy, and so that's why I am doing this.
UW lacrosse chancellor Dr. Joe Gao is now out of a job, fired by the UW Board of Regents after it discovered pornographic videos of Gao and his wife.
In a statement, Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman saying the Regents had learned of conduct from Dr. Gao he described as abhorrent.
She's Carmen.
And he's Joe.
And we are
the sexy, happy couple.
There's no question that our company holds us to a standard of behavior out in public. I'm never not the host of this radio show, as you're never not the chancellor at UW La Crosse.
I think the board is not upholding, the First Amendment, nor is it upholding its own policy on academic freedom.
Porn and education don't necessarily have to come together.
So we're just done with phrasing, right?
Lucky guy. That's all I'll say.
Thanks, Joe.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is no longer behind bars. She's a Missouri woman, paroled Thursday night, 8 years after she confessed to helping murder her abusive mother.
In an interview with People magazine before her release from prison yesterday, Gypsy said she now regrets her mother's killing, saying she didn't deserve that.
Some unfortunate breaking news this afternoon. Former U.S. Senator Herb Kohl has died. He was 88 years old, died after a brief illness.
Something's gone wrong in our process in Washington. Very wrong. Well, if I'm elected, I'll be totally independent.
After working to secure what is now Fiserv Forum, Kohl predicted the Bucks' current run of success when the arena opened in 2018.
This arena is going to be here for many years. The Bucks are going to stay here for many years. So I'm a very happy man.
Herb will be remembered for his friendliness as well as his generosity. He didn't put on any pretense of importance or snobbery. He was always just himself. He was always just Herb.
Wauwatosa native and local lawyer Brian Randall went to Washington as a high schooler, serving in Senator Kohl's first term.
He was very effective in a quiet way. Their office manager, she looked at me and said, I don't usually hire high school students, but if Senator Kohl is referring you, I'll give you a chance.
Not just a senator and Milwaukee sports legend, Herb Kohl was a champion for education through his foundation, which gives out grants of $6,000 each year.
This year, Greendale High School teacher Jennifer McCauley was the recipient.
I felt so honored. My goal was for me to be able to connect my students to more authentic resources within the community. I will be forever grateful to him.
Please give a round of applause for Senator Herb Kohl.
What a week.
Can you get down with that? Yeah.
Lucky guy.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
And the Weekend Review is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. I'm Libby Collins. Coming up to 8:40, should you be concerned about getting your voice cloned? We'll tell you what to watch for. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Well, we've got some below freezing surface temperatures. That means there's going to be some slick and slippery spots on bridges and overpasses. So watch out if you're driving. Again, you want to be really careful. It is New Year's Eve. A lot of people are going to be celebrating today. And we're going to switch to some freezing drizzle that's going to eventually evolve into snow showers and a wintry mix. We're going to get anywhere from about a half to maybe an inch and a half of snow today. So just be really careful if you're out there on the road race. The high is going to be 37 degrees. Right now, we're at 32 at WTMJ at 8:42. And as we look to the new year, voice cloning is rapidly becoming more sophisticated. Now, might that affect you? Well, joining us on our Tri-County Contracting Hotline is our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen from DATCAP. Michelle, should people be concerned?
The good side of voice cloning technology, it's becoming increasingly sophisticated due to improvements in the text-to-speech artificial intelligence programs. And that can offer promise with medical assistance for people who've maybe lost their voices due to accidents or illness. But of course, there's a flip side and people who want to take advantage of that. And scammers are out there targeting families and small businesses with fraudulent extortion scams. They are using artificial intelligence to try and sound like loved ones who are in need and need assistance financially and get those consumers to pay that money. And we certainly don't want that to happen and consumers lose their money that way. And there's other frauds that they're trying to use this with, romance scams, and putting the twist on all sorts of different scams using this artificial intelligence and voice cloning. As a result, the Federal Trade Commission, our national consumer protection partner, is running an exploratory challenge to encourage the development of different approaches, from products to policies to procedures. And this is aimed at protecting consumers from the bad actors using artificial intelligence and that voice cloning or other biometric data. So the goal of the challenge is to foster breakthrough ideas on preventing, monitoring, and evaluating malicious voice cloning. And there is a $25,000 award, if you will, for whomever wins this challenge. So if people have ideas, get engaged and go to ftc.gov to really look at the details.
And, of course, they've got online submissions through what, January 2nd through the 12th?
Yep, absolutely. The online submission portal will open January 2nd through the 12th of 2024, so now's the time to be creating your ideas. for submission, but go look at those details to see how your idea might fit into that product to policy to procedure framework and providing those breakthroughs.
And one more time, what is the website for the FTC?
FTC.gov.
And again, if you think at some point you're taken advantage of, or you've got another consumer question, you can always reach out to the Wisconsin Consumer Hotline. Give us that number, Michelle.
1-800-422-7128.
It's 8:45, 32 degrees at WTMJ. Coming up in just a minute, it's Matt Sossler in sports.
If you want to add a unique and stunning feature to your home, decorative art glass can be used in a variety of ways to really increase its wow factor. Think of adding a wonderful work of stained glass art to some of your exterior windows, foyer, or front door entry. We can make sure the measurements fit spot on, and you don't even have to replace the glass. You can just add the art glass over the top. It will add some real ambiance that changes as the sun moves throughout the day. And a paint of protection too, which never hurts. Our decorative glass artists are delightful to work with, and they just might give you some ideas that you love, but never even thought of. There's so much of the same out there. Adding a customized work of stained glass art to one or more of your home's windows can really set it apart. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
10th-ranked Marquette defeated number 20 Creighton 72-67 to book their 19th straight home victory in front of a sellout crowd at Fiserv Forum.
If you play with a level of passion and excitement for what goes into winning, the crowd will be a multiplier for us, and it absolutely was. To set another record tonight for attendance today was phenomenal.
Head coach Shaka Smart, the 19 consecutive is the third largest home winning streak in the nation. On the score sheet, Ty Kolick and Sean Jones each had 15 points. Up next, they travel to Newark to take on Seton Hall this Saturday morning. Tip-off on 94.5 ESPN is scheduled for 11. The Badgers will have a new center in tomorrow's ReliaQuest Bowl against LSU.
I think that he's used this 14-13 practices in a very good way. And I got no worry. I mean, Jake's played a lot of football. I know a lot more about him than the rest of our guys and surely our offensive staff. But I think that we won't miss a beat with Jake.
Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell. Jake Renfro made 13 starts in 2021 for Cincinnati under Luke Fickell and was named to the All-American Athletic Conference first team. This comes after Tanner Bortolini declared for the NFL draft. The Badgers will also be without Braylon Allen and Jason Maitrey, who have also declared for the draft. Kickoff tomorrow morning from Tampa is scheduled for 11. The Packers look to remain in playoff contention tonight against the Vikings.
We got a one-track mind right now, and that's everything on the Minnesota Vikings. And this is a really good football team. I think when you look at every phase, they're very explosive offensively. You know, their defense is one of the tops in the leagues right now, and their ability to just limit offenses, take the ball away. So it's going to be a great challenge.
Green Bay head coach Matt LaFleur, the 7-8 Packers currently sit a game back of a playoff spot. The green and gold must win out, and they need either Seattle or the Los Angeles Rams to lose one of their next two games. Kickoff from Minnesota is scheduled for 7:20. I'm Matt Sossler, WTMJ Sports.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Well, we'll find out if a lot of people are going to ring in a Happy New Year at the end of that game or not so happy. Let's see, it's 8:48. We've got Matt Miller coming up in just a couple of minutes because he's going to share with us his best and worst films of 2023. And you might be surprised with his analysis. That's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Going there first. Got it.
When it comes to public safety in Milwaukee, no one knows it better than Annie Schwartz.
More often than not, when officers are hurt in a traffic crash, their vests actually save them.
Join WTMJ now Wednesday mornings at 9 for the Public Safety Hour. Annie will get you updated on the latest issues facing police, firefighters, and more.
One of the chiefs I used to work with always used to say was, first reports are always wrong.
It's the Public Safety Hour on WTMJ now.
Here's the truth about marketing your home online. If your home is on the MLS website, it's going to be listed on every online home marketing website out there. And when you agree to a full-service listing with Benefit Realty, your home will be there too, to make sure every online shopper gets a chance to see it. Get full-service, expert real estate services and marketing, all at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com. It's a competitive real estate market. And with that, you need an expert to market your home so that it sells fast. And most importantly, at a great price. Here's the deal. At Benefit Realty, you get all of the expertise you'll find with a 6% broker, and many times even more. But you get it for less. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. At the end of the day, that saves you a bundle. So why pay more? This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com.
Join the Brewers at the all-new Winter Warm-Up Fan Event Saturday, January 13th. See your favorite Brewers player in a fun-filled live show and get early access to purchase opening day tickets. Don't miss out on the fun. Get tickets at brewers.com/Winter Warm-Up.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, if you're out there driving, you want to take it a little bit easy because there's some slick and slippery spots because of all that sort of misty, freezing stuff out there. As a matter of fact, this freezing drizzle is going to evolve to snow showers and a wintry mix as the day goes on. We're going to see anywhere from about a half inch to maybe an inch and a half of accumulation by the time it's all over, depending on where you are. Our high temperature today is going to be 37. Then tonight, those clouds are going to decrease. It's going to be down to 27 and mostly sunny on Monday with a high of 35. We've got 32 at WTMJ. And we also have our own Matt Miller. We're going to check in with him on our Tri-County Contracting Hotline. He, of course, is the media critic and pop culture editor at onmilwaukee.com. And, Matt, you are here to celebrate the best and the worst films of 2023.
Yeah, it was a good year for movies. There were a lot of really tremendous movies. A lot of garbage, too, but, they can't all be perfect.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Now, is that your favorite for the year?
I think Oppenheimer is my number 2 movie of the entire year, but the Barbenheimer phenomenon, the Barbie and Oppenheimer combination, and how successful they both were, that both of these director-driven movies, that a 3-hour-long, mostly black and white movie about a World War II scientist was a billion-dollar grosser essentially this year. That's easily the best movie of the year for me, Oppenheimer, one of the best movies of the year. But also it's just the best story of the year that people really wanted to go back to theaters and see these kind of very odd, very thoughtful movies over, comic book movies. And there is this feeling of hope for 2024 that, maybe the adult drama and maybe the comedy, maybe they'll come back. Maybe people will come back to theaters for a variety of movies as opposed to kind of the IP and the comic book movie and the remake, rebranding that we've had over the past basically decade.
All right. I haven't seen Oppenheimer, but everybody I've talked to, they have either one of two reactions. One is, oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. The other was, oh my gosh, it was too long. But it is a long movie. It's 3 hours, but I will say that movie runs like a freight train, man. Like, it is the fastest 3 hours you're going to sit this year, and you get your absolute money's worth, and you are honestly like glued to it the entire time. I think it earns its 3 hours. But the thing is, I haven't talked to a single person, male or female, who didn't like Barbie.
It's a great movie. It's a really, really good movie. Greta Gerwig, the director, all she does is make bangers. She debuted with Lady Bird, which is a tremendous movie, one of the best movies of that year. Then she did the Little Women adaptation from 2019, another really great movie, great adaptation that does some interesting things with the story, in case you thought, oh, why does the world need another Little Women story? And then she does Barbie, which, has a personal stamp on it, despite being a Barbie movie, despite making a movie that has the Mattel company play characters in the movie. She really found a way to kind of basically have her cake and eat it on a level that we haven't really seen with until the Lego movie, where the Lego movie also had that vibe of I'm watching an ad, but it is so creative and so fun and so emotional that you'd forget that you're watching a movie that has been, produced by Mattel. It's a really, really incredible thing. And the fact that we're talking about it like it's an original movie when it should feel like the death of cinema. That, a Barbie movie making $1 billion feels like that's something that we should be like, oh, great, now we're going to see a bunch of Polly Pocket movies, which, if Hollywood doesn't learn their lesson right, that is exactly what's going to happen. But hopefully Hollywood learns its lesson this year. We'll see.
All right, so those are the top two. But what were the other maybe two or three that you really thought were very, very good for this past year?
Yeah, I loved Are You There, God? It's Me or Margaret. I think that movie is so funny, so sweet, so wise about growing up and coming of age and understanding that coming of age is your entire life. That that your life isn't just becoming an adult and then everything makes sense. It's a really wonderful movie. I would love to see Rachel McAdams get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She's lovely in the film. And then actually my favorite movie of the year was one I saw at the Milwaukee Film Festival this past year called Rice Boy Sleeps. Very small, very delicate Canadian movie about some Korean immigrants, a Korean immigrant mother and her son trying to, find their life together and also in this society. It's a beautiful movie. I sobbed. It hit me like a bag of bricks emotionally. It's a really tremendous small movie, and I hope people seek it out. It's a tiny film, but it is a beautiful movie, and that's my favorite thing I saw this year.
All right. And can you still see that anywhere?
It should be streaming in many places. I know I saw it on even on an airplane. I remember seeing it as one of the options, but I was like, gosh, I can't watch this on an airplane. Otherwise, I will cry all over this airplane, and nobody wants that.
All right. Speaking of crying, what were the worst movies that you saw this past year?
Yeah, I'll start with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the Winnie the Pooh horror movie, because now Winnie the Pooh is on public use. It is so cynical. Listen, I'm not going to be moral police and be like, how could you make a horror movie out of Winnie the Pooh? There's a fun movie that you could have made, but this is the laziest, cheapest, most cynical version of it. It's awful. It made me upset that I was in the theater for it. I would also say Expendables, the fourth Expendables movie, is real trash. It is real garbage movie. I think I would have loved to see an 80s-style throwback action movie. This ain't it. Between all the CGI and the fact that characters it's just a crummy movie that feels like maybe it's a tax shelter as opposed to an actual movie. Hated that. I think those are some of the worst things I saw this year. And then, I really didn't like the Aquaman movie that came out this Christmas. It felt like the ultimate death of the comic book movie this year, where it has nothing interesting to do. It is poorly made, poorly CGI'd. There's nothing there for anybody. And if that is how the DC universe goes out, it is a deserving death. They died how they lived, trying to imitate Marvel movies and failing.
Sounds a little like the real Titanic. Listen, Matt, I look forward to working with you next year as we discuss all those upcoming films of 2024. And I know next weekend we'll take a look and you'll give us an idea of what to really be excited about for the new year. Thanks so much for being here with us, and Happy New Year to you, Matt.
See you next year.
All right, sounds like a plan. It's 8:59. We'll be back after the news. Why is today special? I'll tell you. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Hey there, Eric Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. Yes, I know it's the winter time, but the time is now to be thinking about next spring and your roof. Don't forget, Tri-County Contracting has the worry-free roof tune-up. You can schedule it now. Get it on the books. Make sure your roof is good to go next spring. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website, or call 262-679-6100. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. That's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
With the Art of Options collection at Penny Mustard, you are in charge.
Create a spectacular sofa that's perfectly you.
Choose your arm style.
Fabric.
Seat and cushion.
Add motorized reclining.
Or don't.
A customized creation that's a true work of art.
It's about time someone recognized my artistic flair.
The Art of Options, featuring the Elran sectional, starting at $135 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest till January of 2028 through January 7th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Losing sleep lately? The job, the house, the headlines, or investments? How about the feeling your investment partner isn't a partner at all? They might be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's easy. Head to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button. We work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Are you thinking about updating your bath or shower? Well, turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling, where Kohler design consultants and installers do the work for you. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 32 degrees. Today, we've got some patches of freezing drizzle in the morning and then a chance for snow showers or a wintry mix as the day goes on, a high of 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. Big Bend residents say their police department is being mismanaged.
After 5 officers resigned in one day, Big Bend resident Brian Bindle tells TMJ4 News he wants to run for office to fix the department.
The last thing I wanted to do was be involved in politics. I have the time, so I figured I'd better run and try to help fix the problem.
But Village Board President Jeff Goodman says there's no problem with Big Bend's police.
I really don't know why they're even talking about it. The board voted to keep our police department, so police department isn't going to go away at all.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court's demand of new maps for the state's districts could significantly shift the power balance in Madison. While it changes the future of lawmakers, research fellow at Marquette University John Johnson says the decision may not change much for voters.
More people will have more options when they go to vote, I think, but all the research we have suggests that state legislative races, although very important to the balance of power in the state, they're not close to the top of mind for voters in a general election.
The Supreme Court set a deadline of January 12th for the new maps to be submitted by Democrats and Republicans. The Packers close out the regular season against a pair of division rivals, tonight against the Vikings and next Sunday against the Bears.
A week of potential distractions for the Green Bay Packers entering tonight's must-win game against the Minnesota Vikings. Cornerback Jair Alexander will not play. He's been suspended 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur addressed it at length during the course of the week.
I'm not going to get into any more of the specifics. I've addressed it, and right now I would love to answer any questions you guys have on the Minnesota Vikings.
So you talked about moving forward. What will be your specific secondary plan Sunday night?
Next man up.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ Sports.
Coverage of tonight's game begins with Green Bay game day at 4. It's the 35th straight year Molson Coors is teaming up with Milwaukee County Public Transit to offer free bus rides on the last day of the year.
The Miller Lite Free Rides program offering over 3,000 rides last year to Milwaukee area residents. And this year, MCTS and Molson Coors again offering free rides on a number of popular Milwaukee bus routes from 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve to 4 a.m. on New Year's Day. That includes the Connect One Bus Rapid Transit line, as well as the entire routes of the purple, blue, and green lines, as well as the 14, 21, 24, and 30 lines. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
You can find a full list of routes on WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 9:04.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Where did the time go? These trips around the sun whiz by faster and faster.
And now, a new year is here. A new season is upon us. But it's more than just the winter season. We look forward to a new season of grace, peace, and civility. But we won't see a season of change until we change. Until we start listening instead of shouting. Until we see each other as allies and not adversaries. Until we put others first and our agendas last. Change starts with our words, our actions, and our hearts. Be grateful. Be present. Be kind. Give a smile and a compliment. Donate time or money to a charity. Send an email praising excellent customer service. And never underestimate the power of saying please and thank you. Because yours may be the only one they hear today. Here's to the changing season. May it be change for the better. A holiday wish from Mr. Holland's Home Services.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303. Time
for a WTMJ Sports Update. A New Year's Eve game for the Packers tonight. They take on the Minnesota Vikings at 7:20. Your Green Bay game day coverage starts at 4 right here on WTMJ. And a New Year's Day game for the Bucks tomorrow night. They take on the Indiana Pacers at Pfizer Forum. That game at 7 o'clock, and Bucks shoot-around starts at 6. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Roads are all clear this morning, no incidents or delays.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Shop Ken Michaels Furniture's January New Year's sale for savings up to 50% off on better quality furniture and mattresses. Showrooms in Greenfield, Brookfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Taking a look at your WTMJ forecast. Today we'll see some patchy freezing drizzle ending in the morning, and then we'll have a chance for snow showers and wintry mix. A total of 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of precipitation today, a high of 37. Tonight clouds will decrease, a low of 27 degrees. On Monday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 35. Tuesday, partly cloudy and breezy with a high of 38. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 32 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatzo, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And we're here till 10 o'clock this morning, and coming up this hour, we're going to take a look back at some of our very influential politicians that we talked to here in the last 12 months. But before we do anything else, we've got Jessica Gatzo here. Jessica, do you know what day it is?
It is New Year's Eve.
Oh, no. It's more than that. It's this day.
1, 2, 3.
It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I have been waiting all year to say that, Jessica.
Yes. How can I miss that?
Got it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because it's 12, 31, 23. Get it?
Oh, my gosh.
But,
I really got to celebrate tonight, right?
Exactly. Well, the Old Farmer's Almanac said that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 can depict a spiritual awakening. It also feels like a mental preparation for a year that will be a completely new energetic landscape.
Well,
sounds like a lot of mumbo
this sounds
jumbo,
kind of like
doesn't
an
it?
automatic New Year's resolution.
You don't need to say anything more than that. But yeah, hopefully at midnight, well, just before midnight, I hope all the DJs out there play this song, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Get it?
Yes,
By the way, If you are out celebrating tonight, and I know we've got this story on the website about the 35th year of the Miller Lite Free Rides program, and there's no reason, at least if you're in Milwaukee, to be drinking and driving tonight.
For sure. The free ride starts at 8 tonight and goes through 4 a.m.
Yeah, and again, we've got all the details on that. Over 3,000 free rides were offered last year to people around Milwaukee, and I'm sure this year we're going to see more of the same. But again, all the details at WTMJ.com. Are you doing anything special, Jess?
My plans are fondue at a friend's house.
Ooh, fondue. You know, that's interesting you bring that up. I always used to do fondue at midnight. When my son was really little, my husband and I, we'd always have a little fondue party, just the three of us. Not this year. This year, I must be out of my mind. We're having a sit-down dinner for 10 people at our house.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Different.
I got to be crazy. But anyway, tomorrow, I don't know if I'll feel up to this, but a lot of people will. Well, as we ring in the new year tonight, there are only two things left to do on New Year's Day. You can go jump in the lake or go fly a kite. Joining us on our Tri-County Contracting Hotline is Scott Fisher. He's from Gift of Wings. I love that you're laughing at this, Scott.
Well, there are only two things, good morning, Libby, that you could do on New Year's Day. Go jump in the lake or go fly a kite.
All right, and that's what you're going to be doing. Tell us about flying kites on New Year's Day.
Well, I can tell you for sure I'm not going to jump in the lake, but we'll be down at Veterans Park, and this, I can't believe it, it's the 37th year that we've been doing the Cool Fool Kite and Ice and Snow Carving Festival in Veterans Park, which is right down by the Art Museum, right on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront. So our plan is we're going to start at 11 o'clock. We'll go till 5, or what I like to say is until I can't stand it anymore, depending on the weather. And we're going to invite everybody to come down and fly kites. And it's a great way to bring in the new year. I do have a professional kite flyer, Jake Peters, will be coming in, and he's going to be bringing giant kites. Imagine a kite shaped like an octopus that's 150 feet long, is red, and we'll be flying over Milwaukee's lakefront. I mean, a lot of people have seen this kite because we fly it all the time down there. But it's huge. It's humongous. Or we've got a whale that's over 100 feet long. And just imagine, this whale is so big, if you wanted to, I wouldn't let you, but if you wanted to, you could drive a school bus in the mouth of this whale.
I'm overwhelmed with this description. And in addition to that, hopefully we're going to have those freezing temperatures. You'll be able to try your hand at carving ice?
Yes, the quiet ice carvers, they're coming down, and they're one of the number one teams in the United States for carving ice. They go down to Lake Geneva, and I think they won first place last year. So they are going to be trying their hand at carving snow and ice down at the lakefront. And our plan is, if everybody's wondering what do you do for snow, we've got a snow making machine. We're all ready, and we're going to make snow down there, and we're going to cart some snow in, and we'll have snow and our ice blocks for people to carve.
And again, it's all free, plus you're going to have free hot chocolate, coffee, even some snacks.
Right. This is our way of saying thank you to all of our customers and all the folks that come down to the lakefront every year. We do a kite festival in May, and we do one in September. And believe it or not, Veterans Park is one of the top 10 best kite flying parks in the United States. So it's my way of saying, thanks a lot for everything, and we sure do appreciate your business. And so we're going to be giving away free hot chocolate and coffee, and we've got snacks. It's just going to be one of those really fun days that people can come out and do something on New Year's Day.
Well, it sounds like a great event for the family. Kickoff 2024 right on the lakefront by Veterans Park. It all gets underway tomorrow at 11 a.m. Scott Fisher, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Libby. I should also point out that we will be having a sale on kites, so people can buy kites if you don't have a kite. But we encourage everybody to come down either with a kite or buy a kite at Gift of Wings.
Just go fly a kite, Scott.
Yeah. Oh, Libby, you beat me to the punch here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's 32 degrees at 9:14 on WTMJ. You're just about 2 minutes away from Matt Sosler and sports.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Excel Concrete Coatings, the family-owned company that transformed my garage and will give your concrete surface a brand new look, feel, and function. Colder weather, perfect time to redo your commercial space with a beautiful new coating on your concrete floor. Or one of my buddies here got the scary old laundry room redone. And with Excel Concrete Coatings, it's quite affordable. Most projects start as low as $1,500. Call the owners of Excel Concrete Coatings directly. That's Greg and Luann. ExcelConcreteCoatings.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Also, Iguodala had 9 offensive rebounds in 10th-ranked Marquette's 72-67 win over number 20 Creighton.
It was a phenomenal effort by him and our whole team on the offensive glass, and you have to play with a level of desperation when the ball's not going in. And you got to do that on defense, and you certainly have to do that on the offensive glass, and we needed every one of those offensive rebounds.
Head coach Shaka Smart, the Golden Eagles out-rebounded the Blue Jays by 10. With the win, Marquette improves to 11-3, 2-1 in the Big East. Up next, they travel to Newark to take on Seton Hall this Saturday morning. Tip-off on 94.5 ESPN is scheduled for 11. For the first time since 2016, the Badgers take on the 13th-ranked LSU Tigers in tomorrow's ReliaQuest Bowl.
And we're excited about, obviously, a great opponent in LSU. And Coach Kelly, obviously, got a little bit of history and know a lot about him. This is going to be an incredible challenge for us, but I think that's what's exciting for us in our program.
Head coach Luke Fickell in that last game, the Badgers won 16-14 at Lambeau Field. For the Tigers, Heisman Trophy quarterback Jaden Daniels will not play as he prepares for the NFL Draft. Kickoff tomorrow morning from Tampa is scheduled for 11. The Packers will be shorthanded in the secondary tonight against the Vikings.
It is what it is. We've kind of had that mantra, that mindset all year, that next man up, and we got to keep it moving and keep preparing, and they're going to break the huddle with 11 guys. We're going to break the huddle with 11 guys, and we got to go play.
Packers defensive coordinator Joe Barry. Green Bay will be without Jair Alexander due to suspension and Eric Stokes because of a hamstring injury. Darnell Savage is listed as questionable, and elsewhere on the injury report, linebacker Devondre Campbell, wide receiver Christian Watson, offensive lineman Luke Tenuta, and running back Emmanuel Wilson all are doubtful. Kickoff for Minnesota is scheduled for 7:20. I'm Matt Sosler, WTMJ Sports.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Coming up, Eric Bilstead from Wisconsin Morning News had the opportunity this year to talk with legendary newsman Bob Woodward, and we're going to bring you that interview. It's coming up next on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Stay in touch. You can reach us on the Old National Bank talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Old National Bank. Get old.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
If a tree falls in the forest, but nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Oh, good one. I've got one for you.
Okay.
If you go to Hasselus Mattress, but there are no employees, do you still get a free box spring?
Huh?
It's a trick question. you totally get one.
Get what?
A free box spring with the purchase of a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper now through Monday at Hassellus Mattress. Or take an equal amount off an adjustable base.
But
our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next day delivery too.
okay, but my question.
If a tree falls
Right?
and nobody's there,
Yeah?
you still get a free box spring with a Serta Perfect Sleeper, Sealy Posturepedic, or Beauty Rest mattress from Hassellus.
But does it make a sound?
A box spring? Of course not.
I give up.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
Hi, this is Wayne Larrabee, the voice of Green Bay football. You know, fans count on me to make the right call every time, and I can continue to do that thanks to Summit Eye Care of Wisconsin. When my vision began to drift, my eye doctor said Summit Eye Care was the best place to go. Using the latest adjustable implants, the doctors at Summit were able to fine-tune my vision. In fact, my vision is now the best it's ever been. Summit Eye Care was the right call to help me see all the action on game days.
To schedule an appointment at one of their locations, visit summitiwi.com.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Watch your team compete on big screens in T. McSee's Sports Bar or the Sports Illustrated Sportsbook Room. Yes, you can bet the spread, parlays, futures, and more with Sports Illustrated Sportsbook at Island Resort and Casino. Your place to bet on sports. To book a game-time getaway at the Island, call 800-682-6040 today.
Siding Unlimited named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Well, it's quite an end to the old year because we've got some patchy, freezing drizzle this morning, and then a chance of snow showers and a wintry mix. By the time this is over, we're probably looking at about a half to an inch and a half of snow. Our high today is going to be 37 degrees. The clouds will go away tonight. 27 for a low. Tomorrow, sun comes back. 35 degrees, and on Tuesday, partly cloudy and breezy. 38 for a high. And on Wednesday, looks like you get another chance of flurries and a high of 36. Already some flurries around southeastern Wisconsin. Madison is showing some snowflakes, 30 degrees there. Racine, you've got 31 and a little bit of snow. Elkhart Lake, also a little bit of snow at 31 degrees. And we have 31 at WTMJ at 9:22. Well, as I started out the show this morning, I said, politically, we are really looking ahead to 2024 because that's when Milwaukee is hosting that RNC. And as we end 2023, I want to look back at some of these politically attached interviews that we did. And Eric Bilstead had the opportunity to talk with legendary journalist Bob Woodward at an event at the UWM Waukesha campus. And, of course, Bob Woodward has covered presidencies, 11 different presidents over 50 years. And Eric was fortunate enough to be among a small group of reporters who talked with Mr. Woodward about Richard Nixon, Donald Trump, and the presidency in general.
It's nearly been 50 years since Nixon resigned, and I know he's been gone a long time, but if he were alive today, how do you think he'd react to all this?
Well, that's speculation, and I try to avoid speculation, how he would react to it. The similarities between Trump and Nixon are immense. They're different, but there are a lot of similarities. For the 50th anniversary book version of All the President's Men, Carl Bernstein and I did a new introduction which begins with George Washington's farewell address in 1797, in which Washington said, unprincipled men will seek and hold the presidency. And Carl and I kind of thought, well, Nixon was unique, and then along came Donald Trump to surprise us, and there are these similarities.
And in 2019 and 2020, Bob Woodward spent a lot of time talking to Donald Trump. Many of those interviews took place over the phone.
We would be at home that year, and the phone would ring, and we would think, is it one of our two daughters? Is it a friend? Is it a robocall? Or is it Donald Trump? And it would often be Donald Trump.
Was there a random time when Trump called, like middle of the night? Or
Not the middle of the night, but late at night, 10 or 11 o'clock.
And these interviews ended up becoming part of the Trump tapes, an exclusive inside story of Trump's performance as president, in his own words. And as he was questioned and even interrogated by Bob Woodward.
Do you think you'll ever interview Trump again?
I don't know.
Do you want to?
Well, I'm always anxious to interview anyone who's relevant, but there is a convergence of this political hate in the wars in the Middle East, certainly Hamas, Israel. Putin's invasion of Ukraine is driven somewhat by hate and the idea, well, Ukraine, we own them, they're irrelevant. And some of the political campaigns now are driven by hate. And how do you diffuse that?
Bob Woodward was also asked about the challenges of being president and whether age matters.
Is 80 too old to be president?
Who is 80 too old to be a reporter? My wife asks that question.
do you recall a president who struggled with exhaustion or seemed to not be able to handle the stress of it more than, say, another president?
Well, that's a really good. The presidency is just stressful. I've done a number of books on Nixon, and one of them describes how Nixon every afternoon would go into a little alcove off the Oval Office where he had a bed or a place he could lie down, take off his trousers so they wouldn't get wrinkled, his shirt, his coat, I believe, and have a cottage cheese lunch and then lie down and take a nap.
And a final thing. Eric asked Woodward how the presidency has changed since the Nixon administration.
The power of the office and the presidency is increased substantially in that time. Each new president has new powers.
And of course, that is the legendary Bob Woodward. Yep, that one. Woodward and Bernstein, you probably remember them from Watergate. It's 9:27. As we look ahead after the news, I'm going to, if you didn't have a chance to hear it when we talked with him about a month or so ago, former Attorney General Bill Barr. I had a chance to talk with him this past year as well. We're going to bring that to you. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. 32 degrees at 9:27 on WTMJ.
Today's a big day. Milo is here.
Milo? Who's Milo?
Haven't you heard about Milo?
No.
Everybody's talking about Milo. I can't wait to see Milo.
Is Milo...
What?
Handsome?
Oh, you bet.
How would you describe Milo?
I could totally see Milo on the cover of a trendy magazine.
Really?
Without a doubt. Milo is the epitome of cool. Hip, sharp, but also strong. Sturdy, and civilized too. Milo is simply perfect.
Is Milo...
What?
Well...
Go ahead, say it.
Is Milo single?
Sure. Or a full. Or a queen. Or a king.
Wait, Milo's not a he. It's a bedroom set.
Obviously. That's why we're talking about Milo in this commercial. The Milo bedroom, starting at $101 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest until January of 2028 through January 7th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat, or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
So here's why you'd want an Armstrong Air heat pump. Consider a powerful electric backup to your gas furnace that can do the work of your furnace very efficiently. That means lower energy bills. And it has a rock-solid 12-year warranty and can act as an AC unit too. But here's the real gist of it. With all the government tax credits you get, you almost get the darn thing free. So see the man in the red van to get reliable efficiency from an Armstrong Air heat pump.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
We're coming up to 9:30 on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News, and let's go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jessica Gatso. Jess?
Hi, Libby. A 78-year-old man died after driving his car into a river in Racine on Saturday. The accident happened at 12:30 a.m. near the entrance of the Root River on Dodge Street. Racine County Sheriff's Office says the driver was speeding down Michigan Boulevard when he entered the parking lot of the Chart Room restaurant, struck a retaining wall, went airborne, and entered the river. Dive teams from the Sheriff's Office and Racine Fire Department located and recovered the vehicle, finding the driver deceased inside. The Sheriff's Office has yet to confirm the reason for the man's erratic driving. A friendly reminder, you'll see higher sales tax in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County starting tomorrow. Back in July, the Milwaukee County Board and Common Council approved a sales tax increase to avoid cutting social programs for residents. Sales tax in the city of Milwaukee will increase by 2%, and in Milwaukee County, it will increase by 0.9%. The most significant impact will be felt on large purchases. For example, a new car could cost an extra $1,000 or more. It's the 35th straight year Molson Coors is teaming up with Milwaukee County Public Transit to offer free bus rides on this final day of the year. A number of popular Milwaukee bus routes from 8 p.m. tonight, New Year's Eve, to 4 a.m. on New Year's Day will be free of charge. That includes the Connect One bus rapid transit line, as well as the entire routes of the purple, blue, and green lines. The Miller Lite Free Rides program offered over 3,000 rides last year to Milwaukee area residents. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Roads are all clear this morning. No incidents or delays at this time.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329.
And taking a look at your WTMJ forecast. Today, patches of freezing drizzle. Then we'll change to a chance for snow showers and wintry mix in the afternoon. We'll see a total of between a half an inch and 1.5 inches of precipitation, a high of 37 degrees. Tonight, clouds decrease, a low of 27. On Monday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 35. On Tuesday, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a chance for flurries in the afternoon and evening, a high of 36. On Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 30. Right now in Madison, it's 30 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 29. In Waukesha, it's also 29. And in Milwaukee, it's 32 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Sighting Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 9:32.
Thanks a lot, Jess. Coming up in just 2 minutes, we're going to take a look back at my interview with former Attorney General Bill Barr on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
There are a lot of benefits to having Less's Glass install your new all-glass shower enclosure. The first of them is that when you have Less's Glass on your job, you can be assured that our nearly 40 years of experience is going to leave you satisfied. There are few companies out there as seasoned as ours is, and that really matters. As for the benefits of an all-glass shower enclosure, we're talking about an investment that lasts, that will add a whole new dimension to your bathroom. And the clean-cut lines of a frameless all-glass shower enclosure really make your bathroom color choices pop against the brightness of the glass. And with virtually no metal framework, maintenance is easy. They're simple to clean, you won't have to worry about any rusting, and you'll up the wow value of your bathroom and your home. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you want to upgrade and transform your current bathroom space, I've got you covered. It's Sidex. Sidex just did the work in our house, took out the old bathtub, put in a beautiful walk-in shower. It is stunning. The process streamlined and efficient. Sidex is the company I trust. Sidex is the company doing the work in our bathroom, in our house. My wife is so happy. They have changed our bathroom space. It's incredible. Joe, living the legacy of his dad, Sanford. It's incredible. They're family-owned since 1988. Free shower door upgrade when you mention John Mercure. Sidex. Check out the guys I trust at Sidex.
It costs individuals nothing to receive help from Great Lakes Adult and Teen Challenge. They're celebrating 40 years of bringing hope and second chances to those with addiction. Great Lakes Adult and Teen Challenge operates solely on private donations. Cars, boats, motorcycles, and real estate have helped many through the vehicle donation program. Find out how you can donate and help a young person in desperate need. Call Great Lakes Adult and Teen Challenge, 414-748-HOPE. That's 414-748-HOPE.
Welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. As we've been saying, it's the end of 23, and we're looking forward to 2024, where the big story here in Milwaukee is going to be the Republican National Convention. So what better time on the last day of the year than to look back at some of the politicians that we've spoken to this year, and that includes former Attorney General Bill Barr, who I talked with about the fentanyl crisis. In a recent Fox News op-ed, two-time Attorney General Bill Barr warned counterfeit drugs continue to threaten the lives and health of millions of Americans. Joining us on our Tri-County Contracting Hotline is former AG Bill Barr. And, sir, what's motivated you to take on this cause?
Well, the ravaging of our communities, and especially young people, with counterfeit drugs. I think we all know the very acute problem that fentanyl poses and how drugs are being made to look like Adderall, Percocet, Xanax, and so forth, but they actually contain potentially lethal amounts of fentanyl, and that's what's driving all the drug overdose deaths. But there's a broader problem, which is organized crime around the world producing drugs, even drugs like anti-cancer drugs, anti-HIV drugs, and so forth, and trying to insinuate them into our drug distribution system here. And that exploits older people and poses severe health risks to Americans. So we have to get our arms around this, and part of it is educating people. So I really am glad that you're having this program and informing people about this problem.
Where are these pills coming from, specifically?
Well, the pills that involve fentanyl are coming from Mexico. The fentanyl itself, the precursors, the chemicals that are used to make fentanyl, come mainly from China, but they also come from places like India. And those precursor chemicals are ordered up by groups that are working for the Mexican cartels. And then the pills are fabricated mostly in Mexico, but they've started to set up some production plants here in the U.S. And they're made to look like and labeled as legitimate drugs, as I said, like Xanax and Percocet and so forth. And then they're not distributed in the drugstores. They're distributed over the internet and through social media, and that's what's causing most of the increase in drug overdose right now.
Yeah, my understanding is that between like 2019 and 2021, deaths from fake pills more than doubled. Was this crisis on your radar while you were heading the Justice Department?
Oh, yes. It was overall drug deaths, mainly by opioids. And when I went into the department, it was approximately 70,000 a year, and it was flat initially. And then during the very last part of my tenure, the fentanyl started being introduced in very high amounts. And we actually brought down opioid deaths initially because a lot of those were due to the diversion of legitimate opioid made in the United States and then diverted out of the market. And once we started getting a hold on that, unfortunately, fentanyl started coming in, and these Mexican pills. And that's the thing that has been out of control since I left office. We've had the numbers soar now up to 109,000 overdoses deaths a year, and that's driven by the fentanyl.
What are they doing to stop the influx of these counterfeit drugs?
Because they are very small, it's not like big bulk packages like marijuana used to be, and even the kilos of cocaine and so forth. These are small pills, and they're coming over, and based on seizures, it's escalating. Now, one thing we have within our control that we could do is secure the border more, because a lot of this stuff obviously is coming across the border. And the freer the access to the border, the higher the amount that comes in. So we have to do that. And then we do these investigations of the distribution networks in the United States. And there have been massive seizures. Just the other day in Boston, there was one that, they had enough fentanyl to kill, a lot of the country. So there are these, we're seizing it. The United States government is seizing it. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to bring a lot more pressure on Mexico to get control over these cartels, because they're acting with impunity down in Mexico. They're not really under pressure in Mexico, and therefore they're free to operate. And we have to start pushing the Mexicans to be much more aggressive with the cartels. But on the demand side, one of the most important things is what we're talking about here today. And explain to young people that they may think they're taking a study drug or a party drug or a anxiety drug, and they get it from a friend, and it's potentially their last moments alive. And when you go outside the authorized system, that is, you don't buy your drugs in a registered and licensed drugstore, you're taking your life into your hands.
We're talking with former Attorney General Bill Barr. And, sir, in your first term as AG, you wrote a report, and it argued for the case for more incarceration. Do you think that would make a difference in the distribution of these fake pills?
I definitely think that people who are involved in fentanyl is not just a drug, it's a poison. And to me, when you sell fentanyl, it's like shooting into a crowd. You know that you're going to be killing people. And I think we should have the strongest possible penalties against people who distribute fentanyl and similar kinds of drugs like that. And because there's so much money involved, the temptation is so high because of the money. One of the only ways to inhibit it is to promise very strong penalties. Now, that alone can't, win the battle, but it's an important thing that we have to have. Now, a lot of the gangs that are coming across the border and reinforcing gangs that are already here, they're involved in the distribution of these drugs, and we have to go after them too. There are a lot of steps that we have to take. We have to put more pressure on the Chinese to clamp down on the production of these precursor chemicals and to control their shipments much more carefully so they're not going to the cartels.
In just 2 minutes, you'll hear what I asked Bill Barr about Donald Trump and whether or not he's fit to be president.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Now's the time to get on the schedule with your commercial paving project for 2024. Booking work in the winter helps you budget and puts the Johnson & Sons design team to work. 2 civil engineers on staff, superintendents and foremen with 2 decades experience. There is nothing they have not seen. They can think outside the box and deliver the parking lot or drive you need in the budget you can afford. Plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com. That's JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, farm is in our name, so you know we're animal experts, offering the quality pet food, supplies, and advice you need for healthy, happy pets. Right now, get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $75 on Purina Pro Plan dog or cat food, 20% off select pet dental care and treats. Large Pet Lodge wire dog crates only $64.99, and 40-pound bags of Blaine's brand wild bird food just $15.99. Our stores will be closed on New Year's Day, but farmandfleet.com is always open.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 128-ounce pail selected varieties Kemp's ice cream, $6.99. 4 to 4.5-ounce selected varieties Sargento balanced breaks, 2 for $6. 7 to 16-ounce selected varieties Barilla pasta, 2 for $3. 6-count selected varieties Act 2 popcorn, 2 for $6.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot.
I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries.
$700?
Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods.
No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries.
All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week.
Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
And we're coming back. It's 9:44, 32 degrees. We're going to wait just a couple minutes before we get to Matt Sossler in sports because I want to go back to our conversation with former Attorney General Bill Barr. Now, he served under two presidents, both the first President Bush as well as Donald Trump. And I asked him about the legal jeopardy Donald Trump faces. Former Attorney General Bill Barr, do you believe Donald Trump is fit to be president?
I don't think Biden is anywhere near fit to be president, and I prefer not to have Trump as president. I think that there are other Republican candidates who are capable of winning, and I think our country can do better than a rerun of Biden versus Trump. It's time for younger leadership to step forward.
Former Attorney General Bill Barr, do you believe Donald Trump is fit to be president?
I don't think Biden is anywhere near fit to be president, and I prefer not to have Trump as president. I think that there are other Republican candidates who are capable of winning, and I think our country can do better than a rerun of Biden versus Trump. It's time for younger leadership to step forward.
Yeah, go to break.
What's keeping you up at night? That dripping sound
That's
in
on
the attic?
Isaac.
The check engine light?
He was supposed
Maybe
to send
work
us the whole
stress?
segment,
Or
and he sent
is
us
it
the
a
tease?
general unrest over the state of your finances? Today's headlines don't help. It could be the nagging feeling that your investment
on
partner
him.
isn't
That's
really
not
a
on you.
partner at all. They may be
That's what he
operating in
sent you, right?
someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's time for a top-to-bottom analysis of what you've got and where you're going. It's easy and there's no obligation. Seriously.
Yeah, he sent
Head to
a 19-second
annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Sent the
Do that
19-second
and our investment, planning, tax, and estate teams swing into action. What's next is clear thinking from Annex that produces
That's on
sound
him.
recommendations. And unlike others, we work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment
did
runs
too.
so deep, we put it in writing for every client. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
10th ranked Marquette defeated
Do me a
number 20
favor.
Creighton
When you see
72-67 to book their 19th straight home victory in front of a sellout crowd at Fiserv Forum.
If you play with a level of passion and excitement for what goes into winning, the crowd will be a multiplier for us, and it absolutely was. To set another record tonight for attendance today was phenomenal.
Head coach Shaka Smart, the 19 consecutive, is the third largest home winning streak in the nation. On the score sheet, Ty Kolick and Sean Jones each had 15 points. Up next, they travel to Newark to take on Seton Hall this Saturday morning. Tip-off on 94.5 ESPN is scheduled for 11. The Badgers will have a new center in tomorrow's ReliaQuest Bowl against LSU.
I think that he's used this 14-13 practices in a very good way. And I got no worry. I mean, Jake's played a lot of football. I know a lot more about him than the rest of our guys and surely our offensive staff. But I think that we won't miss a beat with Jake.
Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell. Jake Renfro made 13 starts in 2021 for Cincinnati under Luke Fickell and was named to the All-American Athletic Conference first team. This comes after Tanner Bortolini declared for the NFL draft. The Badgers will also be without Braylon Allen and Jason Maitrey, who have also declared for the draft. Kickoff tomorrow morning from Tampa is scheduled for 11. The Packers look to remain in playoff contention tonight against the Vikings.
We got a one-track mind right now, and that's everything on the Minnesota Vikings. And this is a really good football team. I think when you look at every phase, they're very explosive offensively. You know, their defense is one of the tops in the leagues right now, and their ability to just limit offenses, take the ball away. So it's going to be a great challenge.
Green Bay head coach Matt LaFleur, the 7-8 Packers currently sit a game back of a playoff spot. The green and gold must win out, and they need either Seattle or the Los Angeles Rams to lose one of their next two games. Kickoff from Minnesota is scheduled for 7:20. I'm Matt Sossler, WTMJ Sports.
Thanks a lot, Matt. It's 9:48, and if you're wondering here it is, the last day of the year. You might still have that natural Christmas tree up. You might be wondering what to do with it. Well, guess what? There's a place you can take it and enjoy a special celebration. We're going to tell you about it. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
What time is it?
Do you have the time?
What time is it?
What time is it? Game time!
It's Lillard. He got the shot off.
Damian Lillard is officially a Milwaukee Buck, and we can get used to this.
Lillard, long range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Listen to it all right here. We are the home of the Milwaukee Bucks, WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus.
If a tree falls in the forest, but nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
If you go to Hassellus Mattress, but there are no employees, do you still get a free box spring with the purchase of a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper now through Monday, or take an equal amount off an adjustable base?
Huh?
The answer is yes.
But does it make a sound?
A box spring? Of course not.
I give up.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Are you thinking about updating your bath or shower? Well, turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling, where Kohler design consultants and installers do the work for you. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
As the holiday season wraps up, you're probably looking at that big natural Christmas tree and saying, what in the world do I do with it? Well, joining us on our Tri-County Contracting Hotline is Sarah Howard. She's the Executive Director of Visit Pleasant Prairie. And since 1980, Sarah, you have been having the 12-night bonfire in Pleasant Prairie. And this is a great way for people to donate their trees to a really fun family event.
Yes, we know exactly what to do with that tree. Our community is asking for those trees, and they can be dropped off at the event site from now until the day of the event. You can even hitch that tree on your way to attending the event on Saturday. This event started in Pleasant Prairie in the 1980s, and then there was a bit of a pause, and then we reignited it just a few years ago, and the community has been very, very excited about it. It's one of our signature events.
Okay, so you can bring your tree there now, or you can wait until you come on Saturday evening. Where exactly does this take place?
So it takes place at 9999, that's 4 nines, Park Drive in Pleasant Prairie. So it's in Prairie Springs Park. It's our largest park right next to the Recplex, and it's on the shores of Lake Andrea. So it's a beautiful backdrop along a really huge bonfire for the event.
And you've got refreshments, too. I mean, and caroling It sounds like a really fun time. When does this all get underway?
We're very mindful that we're working with the weather. So we've had some really, really chilly 12th night events. So we try and keep it short and sweet, but memorable nonetheless. So at 5:30, people can come through the Ruck doors, the Ruck Pavilion doors, which is the address that I provided, where we have free hosted hospitality, and people can expect hot chocolate, coffee, a cookie. We also have s'more packets because we have like smaller little bonfire spots along the beach where people can roast their marshmallows and enjoy a s'more. We also have some other really fun giveaways. One of the really unique things that we do for this event is that every attendee that is walking through the pavilion, they get entered into the chance to be selected as our holiday cheermeister. And as the holiday cheermeister, you are the first one to assist our fire department in lighting the big bonfire, the big show, as we call it. And then at 6 o'clock is when we do a brief welcome. The cheermeister lights up the fire with the fire department, and then we start, we're singing as a community holiday song favorites with the help of a professional troupe. They're the Lola Barge holiday carolers. So they help us guide and singing along the huge bonfire.
Well, it is a fun, free, family-friendly event. It takes place Saturday evening, January 6th. It's at 5:30. That's when they're asking you to get there to Lake Andrea in Pleasant Prairie. Sarah Howard, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, we know we've had below freezing temperatures on that surface and slick and slippery spots, especially if you're on the roadways near bridges and overpasses. But we're also looking at some snow showers and maybe even a wintry mix. Now, by the time this is all over, it's going to be somewhere between a half and an inch and a half of snow accumulated with a high of 37. Then tonight, decreasing clouds down to 27 and the start of New Year's Day for the 2024 beginning. Looks mostly sunny and a high of 35. We've got 32 at WTMJ at 9:55. Well, I'm going to be back here at 11 o'clock with WTMJ Conversations. Very special guests, especially after the holidays, as we're all feeling like we ate too much. What, if anything, would you do if you were going to eat 7 or 8 pounds of food for a single sitting challenge? Professional eater Katina DeJarnette shared her secret with me.
How do you prepare for something like that?
What I like to do to prepare for that is I like to eat a large, lower calorie meal of vegetables, like a giant salad that's about 5.5 pounds. And then afterwards, drink a 2-liter of diet soda. And the bubbles in that giant soda basically help expand you even more. So in the end, I'm maybe only having 7.5 pounds total of volume, but that little bit of gas from the soda kind of gives me maybe that little extra stretch. And that usually gets me prepared pretty well.
You seem to approach this almost like a professional athlete.
In a way, yes.
I think anybody who's ever played sports has to have a certain mental focus. What's going on in your mind? How do you stay focused?
Between 5 and 6 pounds, there's really not nerves anymore. So unless there's some sort of crazy curveball, like it's cooked funny or I just happen to not like the taste, I'm quite confident that I'm going to win, mostly.
9:57, 32 degrees at WTMJ. Well, you don't want to miss Katina Eats Kilos. It's on at 11 o'clock this morning on WTMJ Conversations. Coming up after the news, it's Brian and David Wickard on the Accunet Mortgage and Realty Show. And as we well know, it's been a tough year if you were going to buy a house, but maybe things are looking better in the new year. David and Brian will talk about it. It's all ahead on WTMJ.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange. Ho, ho, ho! I need to win.